Hi everyone, it's Jessica. Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well. Yesterday I was watching an episode of Bob's Burgers, which if you don't know, it's this cartoon series that I watched it for the first time on a plane like several years ago at this point. And it's like the show that I put on when I don't know what to watch and I just feel like watching a like random show. Um I like it because it's like very wholesome and there like some like cartoon TV shows are like more they have like crude humor which is like I guess sometimes okay, but I feel like often when I don't want to think about anything, I just want to watch something like non-crude. So I was watching it yesterday, and in the episode, there's this kid. Basically, the show is just about this family that has three kids, and yeah, three kids, two parents, and they run like a burger restaurant called Bob's Burgers, and there's a kid who like goes to school with the other kids. His name is Rudy, and Rudy, his parents are divorced, so they were like eating at a restaurant, like his dad with his girlfriend and then his mom with her boyfriend, and it just played like the episode like played back like when Rudy was growing up and like his parents didn't get along, and then like he would do magic tricks at the dinner table to like entertain his parents and like make everyone laugh. And he was also doing that, like trying to do a magic trick when all like five of them went out for dinner. And it went very horribly, and he felt like super embarrassed by it. But it reminded me of how I think in life sometimes we maybe take on these roles that really aren't ours to shoulder. So like in Rudy's case, like because his parents didn't get along, like he shouldered the responsibility of like making everyone laugh and like making everyone happy, and through his magic tricks like that's how he did that. And yeah, it just got me thinking about like in what other cases are we bringing on extra responsibility for ourselves just to try and make the situation better, because I feel like a lot of our attempts and like our efforts come from a good place, but often they can just leave us so worn out. And on top of that, it's like really not our job to like shoulder that responsibility. And I think about it also in the context of what's called like older daughter syndrome, which, if you haven't heard of it, it's basically just like how eldest daughters often are like take on a lot of responsibility in the family because they're like the firstborn and maybe they're like more organized and like type A. So they just like end up taking on a lot of responsibilities in the family. And I think I'm an eldest daughter, and I feel like as I've gotten older and like matured, I've learned more about how it's important to listen to our needs as well and do things that may to us, like especially if you're coming from a place of like always shouldering more responsibility, do things that may at first seem selfish but are really in fact enforcing boundaries and ensuring that you yourself are healthy and doing well. And I think the idea of taking care of ourselves first to take care of others, right? Like the analogy of when the oxygen masks drop from an airplane, it's like put your mask on before helping anyone else, because if you're not doing well, you really can't be of service to others anyway. And so watching that episode yesterday just reminded me that sometimes we do need to be selfish, because if we are not putting ourselves first and making sure that we are happy and healthy and doing well overall, it's really hard for us to give back to others and to be there for them because we ourselves are not coming from a good place in the first place. And so I think beyond just being selfish, it's also about questioning and thinking about whether or not the responsibilities that you may be shouldering are yours to shoulder in the first place. And I think this is where there's so many considerations, like cultural considerations, generational, like socioeconomic. There's so many considerations that come into play when we think about what is our responsibility, because it really differs like person to person. And I think like that's something that everyone needs to like decide for themselves, like what they can shoulder and what they're willing to shoulder and what makes sense for them. But watching that episode yesterday just really reminded me that each of us needs to be selfish sometimes, put ourselves first so that our cup is full enough. And then we can think about helping others, because without our cup being at a healthy level, it's very hard to be there for others anyway. So I hope that resonated with you in some way. If you have any thoughts on this, would love to hear them. Please let me know in a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.